What up, fish people? Kenny E with Daniken Aquatics. Well, moving right along, guys. This is part 2 of the Daniken Aquatics Fish House Tour. And this is a recent room that I've started putting together. We're making room upstairs, and we've moved quite a bit to the lower level. Eventually, this wall here will be a 125. I have another 125 to set up here, but we're going to put a couple more 30s down there, most likely. But we are trying to get to a spot where we have mostly 75 and above. So I'm not quite sure on these lower. I probably will put my wife's 30-gallon shrimp tanks in the lower section because they would enjoy the lower, cooler area anyway. But I'll give you a quick tour of this room. Like I said, this majority right now is 20 highs and 30s. We do have that 75 that are my Tanganikans that I have left. And then that one there. So we will start over here. So in this tank, I have some beautiful little guys growing out. These are star sapphires that I got from Mr. Peplin Creek Aquatics. And they're starting to get the blue in them. It's going to be quite a while before they get to their mature colors, but they are well worth the wait. I've got a picture of his, of good old Brian's. That is what they'll look like when they are finished growing. Absolutely gorgeous fish. But anyway, right now I'm just growing them out. This is a 36-gallon bow front. I do already have plans. The 125 I plan to put against this wall, that right now is my junk table, is going to be home to these guys. I'm going to do a little colony breeding and down the road, and that's my intent, is having that 125 set up for them. Because these do get quite large. They'll get up to 10 inches long. So I do need some more room. I did end up losing one of the 12 that was sent to me. He jumped out of the tank on the back there, so I had to make some corrections so that doesn't happen again. I was very upset when it happened. But again, if you've been fish keeping any length of time, you know how fish will be fish, and it's hard to understand why they do the things that they do. But unfortunately, they did cause one of their tank mates to get upset and jump. But yeah, I'm looking forward to these guys. And the other thing is neat, I end up planting some more plants in here. I tried a couple to start to see if they were going to be plant munchers, and the good news is they're not. So I was able to put some more dwarf sage in here and a couple other cool little plants. Trying to really implement plants into my cichlid tank, so I've been slowly but surely putting a couple different types to see if they will pick on them. So this tank is my 75-gallon, what's left of my Tanganikans. I will be rebuilding all of my tanks down the road here. Right now this is kind of a mosh pit of a bunch of different fish. These guys are some rare cichlids out of Lake Victoria. Unfortunately, they killed all the females, so they're the last of the Mohicans. As you can see, I do have some very large Leopard in here. Love this fish. Always been a cool fish. They just got a water change, so as you can see, all the plants are doing their bubbly thing. They're enjoying having it. Now that beautiful guy there is a Turkana Jewel. Well, I have it on this. If you guys do like the dwarf West African type species of cichlid, I do have these available right now. I've probably got about 70 of them left. If you'd like some, they're about $7 a piece. I'd be more than glad to hook you up. Just drop a comment in this, or you can reach us at daniken.aquatics@gmail.com. I'll put the link in the description for you guys. But yeah, they are phenomenal little jewel cichlid. They're not quite as bad as the normal jewels as far as aggression. They are quite nasty to one another, but as far as they're not, killers per se like the other ones. They will kill each other, though, I will say that. When they're in breeding, they do get quite nasty. but an absolute stunner of a fish. And then in the back there, you can see we have some African red-eye tetras. I love those guys. They get a little spastic. But overall, pretty cool little fish. And then we have 2 or 3 of our albino brochardes. Some people like to call them the fairy cichlid. Absolutely love these guys, always have. I'll always have some of these in my fish room somewhere. Absolute stunners. And then, I don't know where I've got one last pair of my firefish. That's the male there. I took them out of the Mbuna tank because I wanted to make sure that they lived. I do plan to start breeding them again down the road here as we start getting our place dialed back in. Right now I'm not doing much of anything as far as breeding, but we do plan to at the end of the year here. So that is a 75-gallon tank. And there's the female over there. That's who I was looking for. There she is. But I've got a couple of albino bristlenose in here to help keep somewhat things tidy. And those guys, I love them. I probably will have to check with my source and see if he can get me some more of those down the road. Right now, I'm just kind of, like I said, getting ready to transition the fish house into something better and greater. We're going to try to get all 75s, and I am going to plan on putting in a couple of cold water tanks too. There's a good friend of mine, Brandon, with Maple Street Aquatics and good old Aquatic Nest, have got me quite hooked on the cold water now. I did find some, actually, being that he's out, I'm going to take you to this 20 down here first. This is my little 20-gallon nano tank. But one of the highlights in here is these guys. Those are my leopard frog Plecos. Absolutely stunning, stunning, stunning Pleco. And this is a rare treat. We normally don't get to see these guys out. I have a total of 2 or 3 of these guys right now. I do plan to get, one of the plans Danny and I have is to get a bunch of 55s as well. And we have like 5 different types of Plecos. We plan to get more serious with the breeding of those as well. And this is one of them. But yeah, those are cool. Then I also have some Ember Tetras in here. And I got like 1 green Tetra left. This is another tank that I plan to transition, and that's my one. Got about 2 or 3 of these little guys left, these little Pygmy Corys. I love that fish. I do plan to get more of them, but I want to put them in a better tank where they got more forage and whatnot. But like I said, this is what this tank is mainly about, are these guys. That's just a little 20 tall. Nothing fancy. Just another tank to have some cool fish in. There's another one hanging out up in there. And they just love this little rock structure that I've created for them. The Pygmy Corys hang out in here as well. And then I've also got, where are they? Those guys up there. My little pencil fish. Love these guys. So up here is another 20 tall. And this is a cold water tank. And in here we have some blue sapphire shrimp. And then I've also got some tiny little CPDs that I got from Miss Roxanne. And you know, the problem with this tank is a lot of times there's so much stuff in here Very rarely do I see any of the inhabitants because they're pretty good at hiding. And this tank's another one I planned. There's one of the little CPDs up there. Just little bitty guys. I think we will probably do a reset on this tank as well. And then this is another one. It's a little 20 tall. And this one, I'm so stoked about this. This houses my stack Endler colony. And they are doing very well. I got lucky and just ended up with the initial ones I got with 1 male and 4 females. And I happen to get a very good looking male. But as you can see, I've got little bitty fry everywhere in this tank. Then it also houses our cherry shrimp colony. This got depleted between Fishtoberfest and a couple other people that wanted some. So I'm now letting them recharge again. If you saw the video from Fishtoberfest that Miss Haley from Oddball Aquatics, this was the tanks that they were collecting those shrimp for me when we all were super tired. They all volunteered to come back and help me bag shrimp, which I thought was very kind of them. So anyway, that's this tank. And these Stark Endlers are gorgeous. I do plan to have some available down the road. It'll be probably months down the road, but if you're somebody that likes Endlers, I will be having some of these available soon as well. And then in the tank next to it, this one's, I know it looks dark and dreary, but Danny and I love this old school light. I mean, it's one of the probably the last ones in the fish room, but we just can't let go. I like the iridescent kind of spooky color it gives the tank. But anyway, in here we have some of our coal shrimp, and we just let them kind of do their thing. We drop them from all the different shrimp tanks that we have, and we're just going to let them go and see what we end up with. They're doing well in here. Then I also have a little breeding colony of super red bristlenose in here. But I love this tank. Danny and I, like I said, we just love the glow that this gives it, kind of that spooky. Danny's into the vampire movies, so we have to have one tank that fulfills her needs that way, I guess. And then down below this is a 20 long. And this one we've kind of let go. This is holding our Jade shrimp colony. And then we've also got some of these that will be available if anybody would like some. We'll be selling these for $20 a trio. And what they are the red Dragon Guppies. And they got some good looks to them. Absolute stunners. Danny and I have got a lot of guppies that are coming available now. We've let the colonies go for a year or so. These guys are actually some of the ones that we've already pulled from the other main colony just to give more tank space. So they are doing well. Like I said, if you think you might be interested in some, these are $20 a trio. And then up above, the final tank in here is a 20-gallon tall. And these house our beautiful little Vienna guppies. Now this guppy is probably my favorite of all the ones we keep. They are absolutely, let me get the light up here a little so you can see these guys with some light on them. Oh yeah. There we go. Forgot it's got a plastic lid so I can't get the light up any further. But these guys are absolute stunners, and now they're all thinking it's time to get fed here. See the patterns on those? Aren't they stunners? And Danny and I are going to let a few of these. We probably got about 20 available or so, maybe. And we are going to cut some of these loose too to make room. So if you are interested in some Vienna guppies, we will let these go for 25 a pair on these actually. Can't do trios on these ones. But I will do 25 a pair on these if you're interested in some Vienna guppies. And they are amazing. They don't get real monstrously big. The females get pretty good size, but as you can see, those males are just phenomenal. They get some different patterns to them. Danny and I have been geeking over these for quite some time. So anyway, guys, that is our new little lower level room that we've created for more space. So as always, guys, love your fish. This is going to be Kenny E. with Daniken Aquatics. Checking out for now. Look for the next video to drop in the next few days. Have a great day, guys.